So how will China most likely respond to the President Trump's hiking in tariff? And what is prospect of the Chinese financial markets, including the stock market? Here's my simple analysis. Number one, the Chinese government has to make certain kind of response to counterattack the threat of President Trump's hiking of tariff, including the 50% additional tariff he just was stating, okay? Because the Chinese government, remember, is also a government which has to respond to the popular sentiments, okay? It's a government, it's a politics, okay? So the Chinese government is cornered to have to make certain statements to go against the US threat, okay? That's number one. Number two, okay, the Chinese side will be more than doubling its ongoing policies to stimulate domestic consumption, okay? At the beginning of this year, the government announced that 4% is the budgetary deficit. Now, how much most likely the Chinese government will increase the budget deficit to respond to the US trade tariff, okay? My proposal is 6.77, okay, from 4% to 6.77. Where is the additional 2.77 come from, okay? Okay, my answer is 2.77 is the ratio of Chinese total export, direct export to the USA. Okay, assuming all of the export to the USA is wiped out, assuming President Trump's administration is so crazy that it stops any export to the US, well, the Chinese government just increased its budgetary deficit by 2.77%. Let's call it Trump deficit. Let's call it Trump stimulus in China, okay? That way, domestic consumption comes up, okay? How to do it? Easy, okay? Just give consumers coupons, okay? When you spend 1,000 yuan, the central government will pay you 25% or even 50% of the bill, okay? This is called the co-payment of consumption, stimulate consumption, okay? So this way, the Chinese government will more than offset the so-called trade restriction or tariff on Chinese export. This is the bottom line. Okay, let's play the game. If President Trump wants to do this, okay, let's call it 2.77 physical response to the tariff of the USA. Of course, most likely, I do hope the two sides will negotiate, will avoid actual tariff, or will avoid actual trade war. I hope that's the case. Well, between the worst case of zero export to the USA, which of course is highly hypothetical, and the most ideal case of the both sides negotiating, there's a middle case. The middle case is the US still imposes tariff on Chinese goods. And in this middle scenario, many Chinese enterprises will of course suffer, those exporting firms will suffer. Well, the central government should, I propose, using its budgetary deficit to get rid of, okay, any tax on these enterprises, give them temporary help, okay? And of course, by doing that, these enterprises will still survive, will still continue manufacturing, and they will still provide products to the American market. Meanwhile, okay, the US consumers unfortunately will have to bear a huge, if not all, of the cost of the tariff. So this is the second move of potential move of the Chinese government. Okay, move one is to give a tough response to the threat of tariff. Number two is to jack up government budgetary deficit. Number three is to negotiate. Okay, negotiate hard with the Trump administration. Okay, put everything on table. Okay, close those sessions. Don't do it with the press. Okay, close those sessions. Honest, direct negotiation. Okay, I do hope that with all these three measures, okay, all potential problems will be avoided. I do hope in the end we will avoid significant damage to the two economies. Also, we avoid significant damage to the world economy. Any comments or questions, please leave them at the bottom of this video. Thank you.